With the country in such a state of crisis, we're all wondering how we can help. I want to remind you of the power of universal law and how you can harness it to actually make a change in the world. Keep watching.
This is your life, no one else has gotta live it. This is your fight that only you can win.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne, your certified spiritual rock star. And if this is your first time here and you would love to see more videos just like this every single week, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that bell for notifications. All right, we've got a lot going on in the country right now. Actually, not just this country in the United States, but in so many countries. And so I want to remind you, those of you who've been following me for quite a long time understand universal law and the law of attraction already, and you understand your power. But I'm here to remind you of some of the steps you can take to powerfully start to change the way this country has been going. Or any country for that matter, or any world, whether it's just your own world and the life that you're living, or the entire world and the collective. So, if you're not already aware of universal law, I'm sure you've probably heard about the law of attraction. Of course, you Googled this or you found this on YouTube, so you must already know about the law of attraction. Maybe you don't know enough to realize that you actually can change and impact the country using these laws, the universal laws and the law of attraction, and just really focusing on something positive. So I want to break down a few steps that you can take to start to really make a positive impact on the world from right now, right where you are, without actually taking any physical action. You can start with your mindset, with your emotions, with your heart, and really with the love that you have deeply within you for all of humanity. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is start to screen the way you are receiving your news, okay? If you have not already been doing that, you don't want to be inundated with negative news all the time, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna just be having negative emotional reactions where you are no longer in your power to make any actual change. When you're stuck in your emotions and when you're stuck in your pain and your fear, always being inundated with the negative news as well as everyone's harsh opinions on social media, it's not going to serve you. So one of the suggestions that I would give you is, well, what I do is I don't watch TV at all. I have a television, but we strictly watch things like on-demand television. So Netflix, HBO Now I have, Amazon Prime, and apps like that where I'm not getting commercials and I'm not seeing the news, right? And I'm also able to control what it is I'm seeing at any given moment, which I think is extremely important. When you haven't watched television for a really long time and you watch it for the first time, you realize how brainwashing just commercials alone are for you and how much they really affect your vibrations. So what's coming in and you having all sorts of different reactions to it is really going to, actually controlling it is really going to help you staying in alignment, right? So what I do is I never know anything that's going on, and I see people having reactions on social media. And then if I so choose, and I don't have to if I don't want to, I know that there are injustices going on in the world all the time. There always have been. And I know that my greatest power lies in staying in a vibration of love if I'm going to make an impact on the world. So very rarely do I look news up, to be honest. And it's not me being ignorant. It's the fact that I know that there's shit going on. And I'm doing my best to be able to keep the vibrations of love on this planet as much as I can, right? I'm doing my personal best to do that. But if I feel like I want to be informed about something going on, like the border, the things going on at the border right now at the time of recording this, I wanted to get some information on it, right? So I did things like I Googled some trustworthy and reputable news blogs and websites that are doing things with integrity, right? I'm not getting biased opinions. I'm just getting the news, the neutral news. Also, today I watched Vice News, which is on HBO, and it really gave another unbiased account of a lot of different aspects going on, right? So we got the opinions. There were interviews from many different sides of this whole circumstance and this whole situation, right? So I was able to have my own opinion about what was going on, rather than having an opinion be bombarded by somebody else's opinion, right? Which could sway me either way. So that's first and foremost. You want to make sure that you're controlling the way you're receiving your news. And also, trust me, the news on the television, it's all crap. Don't even watch it. It's completely biased. There's like rivaling news networks, and it's all about ratings. Unfortunately, that is the way it is. I'm not saying that any news broadcasters are bad people, but I know for a fact that they're doing it for ratings, okay? So you want to make sure you're controlling the news that's coming in. Now, the next thing that I would do, and I would maybe suggest that you do, of course this isn't a formula you have to follow, but just some suggestions, is now that you've seen the injustice occurring, or what you may perceive as an injustice, you're going to have an emotional reaction to it, right? You might feel triggered. I would suggest that you honor your emotions and you work through and process that before you take any physical action. I would not, in an outrage, go onto Facebook and share graphic photos or videos and start cursing people out, because you're really just spewing the emotions that you're feeling all over, and you're not helping to raise the vibrations of the country, which is the only way you're going to help the country, is helping to raise the vibrational currency of the people in the country, okay? Just understand that. So I wouldn't go and vent anywhere online. I would go and journal. I would process this. I would think, okay, is this triggering something from my own childhood? What's being triggered here, right? The other thing that I want to really point out to you is, let's bring this way higher. Let's look even bigger picture. Let's look spiritual big picture. What's happening if you're feeling triggered, if you're feeling an injustice, if you're feeling negative emotions, right? What's happening is you are seeing it from the eyes of, in the way that you're witnessing the injustice happening, you're seeing it from the eyes of the illusion, which is the ego believes the illusion that we get, that our source of love, security, all those survival things, our source is from other people. Our source of security and comes from the government. We believe that our source of love comes from whatever, our significant other and our family members. We believe that our source of income and all of the things, the freedom that comes with that and the abundance, we think that that comes from our job. We think that this source of all of the things that we need comes from outside of ourselves, but that's not true. The source comes from source, right? The source of all of our needs, both human and spiritual needs, comes from God. And when you have a deep understanding of that, and when you check your ego and you realize that the injustice that you're feeling and the pain that you're feeling from witnessing this, what you call an injustice, is all truly an illusion, meaning you're seeing it in a way that is not through the eyes of truth, right? The eyes of truth knows that God is always yours, that you are always God, that the love that you are can never be ripped away from you or anyone else for that matter. So when we see, in this case, recently it's been children being ripped away from their parents, yes, that hurts to look at because we're seeing it from the eyes of anyone can rip the love you are away from you. And it's simply, from a spiritual standpoint, not true. And what I mean by that is you could feel love at any moment. Right now, you can feel it if you choose to do so. If you choose to focus on the things that make you feel love, you could simply ask God to help you to feel the love that you are. And through your willingness to allow it, you will feel it. Doesn't matter what anybody's doing, right? Now, that doesn't mean that the human side of you doesn't need to heal and process and honor those emotions that you're experiencing. But just know that the emotions that you're feeling means that the thing you're looking at and the opinion that you have about the thing you're looking at is not in alignment with the opinion that your soul has of it. When you feel good looking at a subject, that means that your opinion of it is the same as your soul's opinion of it. Right? So it means that your ego's not in the way, okay? So now that we've sort of processed our emotions and healed, right? Again, we don't want to start going on social media and pushing against the problem, right? Pointing fingers, blaming. We're still acting from the ego and we're still acting from fear if we do that. We want to act from a place of love. And then we want to start to harness the energy of the law of attraction. And what does the law say, right? Whatever I focus on grows. Nice and simple, point blank period. What I focus on grows. Okay, that's it. When I push against the problem, I'm focusing on the problem and I'm feeling resistance, which is my soul telling me this is not the way to go, okay? Again, my soul saying, your opinion of this and the way you're looking at this is not how I'm feeling about this. Instead, what we want to do, instead of pushing against the problem, we want to lean into the solution. That's going to feel more like a flow. That's going to feel more like open arms, right? Now, how do we know what the solution is? What feels good? Now, let's just generally speak here. What feels good when it comes to humanity? Well, people having compassion for one another. That feels good to me. People honoring one another, respecting one another's belief systems, and whether they agree with them or not, right? So start to feel what feels good to think about. Okay? Now, if it feels just all terrible, it just means you haven't worked through the emotions. You haven't cleaned up your vibrations about it. But you can ask Source to help you. You can ask God to walk you through. God, show me a solution. Because once you have a solution, once you get into alignment with love, which is where all your power lies, getting into alignment with your soul, right? Love, joy, bliss, all of that. Getting into alignment with love is going to give you the clarity of vision that you need, and also the power of vibration that you need to start to change the world around you, okay? You need to be in that space and then be able to visualize a better world, to visualize a better country, to visualize everything being beautiful and healed and there being love and much more love than there is hate or negativity, right? And just leaning, but not pushing against the hate and negativity, but just continuing to lean towards love and envision the world you desire to see. When you do that, you will change the world. When you see another injustice and you go, oh no, and then you freak out and you start to feed into the negativity, then you're going to create a darker world. But what I want you all to know, and I know that this is hard to hear and it's hard for me to say, but what I want you all to know is that you created this world. We, as a collective, created this world. And that can be hard to hear, but what's beautiful about that is understanding how powerful we are. That if we can create this world, then we can also create a loving one. So let's create the loving world of our dreams, of our desires, and ultimately of our truth. Okay? So I hope that this helped you. Of course, this is just my suggestions based off of my own experiences and my own belief system. Of course, you can take it or leave it, doesn't really matter. What I would love to see you comment down below is the 5 core feelings, words, that you would love to see or feel in this country, right? So for me, I suppose it would be love, compassion, understanding, support, and togetherness. So if you could share 5 words that you want to feel for this country, right? And I want you to start to will these vibrational frequencies to the country, right? So you can, when you focus on the 5 things that I just mentioned, or the 5 feelings that you would like to feel in this country, when you focus on those and start to will it for the country, you then call on the energies of the law of attraction, because that's how powerful you are, and it will start to change the country. So please don't forget your power, because you are so powerful. We may have misstepped here in our vibrational misalignment, but it's okay, because we have the ability to realign with the truth. Nothing can ever kill God, right? Nothing can ever kill love. Nothing can ever kill the truth of who we really are, because we are invulnerable. All of the rest is merely illusion. And the moment you realize that all of the rest is merely illusion is when you step back into your power, and then you can recreate the world the way it was meant to be for all of you and for all of us. All right? So happy, magical manifesting. If anything, I think this will probably be one of the most important things that you have ever manifested in your life. That dream home and the money and the man doesn't seem so important now, does it? When you think about manifesting a new world. I'm honored to have been able to do this video today. I'm honored to be able to remind you of your power, and I hope that this has done so. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please give me a thumbs up so I know to do more just like this. And I will see you guys next week for Freedom Friday. Bye, guys. Mwah. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly, deeply appreciate it, because I know that whether you do the practices or not, it has affected the world in a positive and loving way. I ask deeply and gratefully that you share this video, because it is so important, especially right now. Also, follow me on social media at Darienne Empire, all throughout social media. And if you are an empath and wish to be a rockin' empath, make sure you head over to my free public Facebook group called #RockinEmpath. And until next week, while you wait for the next inspiring video, make sure you check out this one from the archive. It's a good one. All right, guys, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.